This is Jonathan Ferguson, the Keeper of Firearms and Artillery at the Royal Armouries Museum in the UK, which houses a collection of thousands of iconic weapons from throughout history. And I'm your host, Dave Jewett, and today we are returning to Speranza and checking out more of the weapons of Arc Raiders, including one very cracking device.
I definitely have to go and get this one, don't I?
I didn't know if you had one of these. That's crazy. I'd never even heard of this one.
Please. Please. Of course we have one of them.
I didn't think you had one because the Wikipedia page said currently at least 4 of the launches are on record of being in the Springfield Armories collection in Springfield, Massachusetts. No mention of there being one in the Royal Armouries Museum. Someone's going to have to edit that.
Now, obviously I'm flexing that we have this, but...
Rightly so, honestly. That's a rare treat. I'm loading into raids here, role-playing as like a Arc Raiders war journalist, and I was just going up to people with the Hullcracker and just recording them with my binoculars. And I'm just there like, keep going. You're doing great. We'll be touching on some of Arc Raiders' weapon mod options today, but do you know what else has mod options? Today's sponsor, Opera GX. Opera GX is a browser built for gamers and comes equipped with a bunch of tools to let you customize your internet experience. There's an inbuilt ad blocker to prevent ads from dominating your web pages, a built-in VPN that allows you to change your virtual location and helps to keep your browsing away from prying eyes, and circling back to mods, the whole browser is customizable. The GX store has an absolute plethora of different mods from different backgrounds, animations, sounds, and more. You have the freedom to make your browser uniquely yours. I often have pages of notes and research when I'm recording footage for an episode, so being able to keep my tabs alive without tanking my FPS is immensely appreciated. And GX Control allows you to customize how much CPU and RAM Opera GX can use while you're gaming. Now when I need to look up where to find Arc Raiders weapon blueprints or guides for whatever brutal survival shooter I'm playing this week, I know that whenever I get domed by an enemy player and lose all my loot, it's my fault and not because my browser has gobbled up all my RAM and CPU power. And if you need to save some of your own brain's computing power, Opera AI is one click away in the browser's sidebar. Try out Opera GX for yourself using the links in the description or pinned comment below for absolutely free. Thank you once again to Opera GX for sponsoring this episode, and now we'll get back to the video.
I have a feeling this game is going to be a bit of reaching on the guesses. I must admit, my first impression on this pistol is actually gyrojet, but I think I'm misleading myself just on the general proportions.
I think there are some sources of inspiration, but it's very much its own design. Like the Burletta, the only thing that I was... Well, first of all, it's set in Italy. Burletta.
Yeah.
But I was looking at some of the older Berettas that have a more sort of oval trigger guard. I was like, is maybe that like a very small cue they've taken from? But I could also just be reaching with that.
Honestly, I think my first impression was probably off base, and I struggle. I think if it wasn't called Burletta, we wouldn't be thinking about Beretta. If it was just set in Italy and the gun looked like this, I don't think we'd have made that connection. But obviously my brain did make that connection as well.
But Burletta also means little joke in Italian. It's a Italian opera thing.
Does it?
Which I thought was kind of apt for a small pistol that you keep as a sidearm. And it certainly is a little joke in my hands because I am not very good with it. Also now regretting saying little joke in my hands, but we'll soldier on.
Soldier on.
I'm not making it better, am I?
Is that what you call it? I've only just remembered we've already done this once before.
Yeah.
I still haven't played it, to my shame.
What I'm showing you here is all the levels of the weapon. So a level can be level 1 to level 4, and 1 being the most rusty, 4 being almost factory new. So you can see the slide getting hung up during reloads. That's a big part of the reason why you upgrade your weapon. Reload speed massively changes because less rusty, less chance you're going to jam up on something.
Right. Yeah, I did see some faffing going on there. Something about the way the character holds that and the amount of recoil and the general vibe really makes me think Fallout this time, more so than my first impression of last time, weirdly. They both have that slight Jack Bauer thing going on with the pistols.
As it's a pistol, it fires light ammo. The ammos are separated into light, medium, heavy. Then you got a shotgun, energy, launcher. The light ammunition weapons generally for PvP or very small enemies. Not very good against anything with armor on.
Oh, there's a good jam. It's funny how the one with the break on the muzzle doesn't seem to get braked. Does that have a game mechanic benefit?
Yeah, so you can modify your weapons to have things like suppressors, brakes, grips, and the brake does lower your vertical recoil.
I would have assumed it would. It just doesn't look much like it's doing that. I think I'm going to go with the headcanon that like they're dimly remembering the existence of Burletta, and so they the pistol that looks anything like one, they've decided to call that.
All the weapons look so good and rusty. I've actually been saving screenshots of them for like miniature painting purposes as like reference material.
Well, that's the ultimate accolade for a game artist.
Again, because I was looking for potential real-world inspirations for weapons.
Yeah.
And this is I think it'd be fair to consider this a battle rifle, and it has a 20-ish round magazine. And that top cover was making me think SLR. I throw it over to you to agree or disagree.
Oh, I mean, we're on gun Rorschach tests here, I think. Now that you say it, I can see what you mean. I think that's probably coincidence. If anything, I'd say they might be looking at things like the Scar 20S with its extended forend, as it were, or any other modern monolithic upper type. I think it's fair to say, yeah, definitely sort of DMR, quote-unquote, battle rifle.
Well, I think because it had it's got four. It's got four holes on the weapon. I know the SLR, some models had two at the front, but because they were then at the front, that's we're going into that pattern recognition thing.
You mean the handguard?
No, sorry, I misspoke. The handguard. If we imagine the handguard being brown,
these are so removed from reality that we're not gonna successfully second guess them. I don't think, but certainly that's the sort of very basic inspiration cue, if you like, that as an artist you might well go, I like the size and arrangement of those holes, I'm going to put those on my gun, but then the shape of the actual component that they're on isn't. The only other thing that is similar is that sort of pebble texture. I can make that out in what I'm looking at there, so I certainly can't rule it out.
If this wasn't a long rifle that fired higher caliber ammunition,
yeah,
I probably would be thinking SLR, because those two, holes on the handguard at the very front of the weapon, that's doing a lot of heavy lifting in my mind to connect those two weapons.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else has that arrangement, and I certainly can't think of any others, so maybe. Some
commenter's going to say the FAL.
Well, it's the same weapon, isn't it? But yeah, the huge charging handle is quite funny, and the shape of it, this is where we reach once more. I guess I'm thinking of the Browning 1917 in particular. There's the shape of the cocking handle on that is quite reminiscent in terms of being large and tapered with a cylindrical end it's hollow on the Browning, but you could hang your coat on that. Looks to me, am I losing my mind, or is the tracer fire coming out of the top of the gun instead of out of the muzzle?
I think when you're looking at another character, because I got my glamorous assistant, my partner, she was helping me demonstrate some of the weapons. So I think in third person there is some weirdness with the tracer.
It's almost like a double tracer
when you're seeing another player use it.
the Vulcano. Looking a bit Fallouty there.
For a shotgun, an automatic shotgun, Vulcano feels like an apt name.
Isn't Vulcano just Italian for volcano? And therefore the island that's a volcano is called Vulcano.
That too.
That buttstock does not inspire confidence. I think minimalist is probably the best I can say about that.
Interesting reload. You push down the sort of plastic paddle on top of the arm where that sort of blue screen is, and that pushes out the magazine somehow.
Yeah, I was still trying to wrap my head around that. Definitely falls into the Gears of War overly complicated reload trap, I think.
Great sound effect with this boxy suppressor, though.
I mean, I guess if you're literally reinventing the gun, effectively, you might come up with different ways to hold a magazine in, but there are some tried and tested methods. I would think in this world, the paddle magazine catch would be very common, because it's relatively simple and robust.
Arc Raiders is one of the games that I would love to do like a deep dive with some of the designers on, because the designs are so unique. And because there's not a huge amount of lore known about Arc Raiders yet compared to other games, I'd love to sort of learn more about their design ethos, like how to make an Arc Raiders gun specifically. Because they've not taken really realistic stuff, they've really reinvented weapon concepts.
So what are we slapping to eject the magazine?
It looks like that, you see the bit at the top that looks like it might be an ammo counter or something?
Yeah, just slapping that.
It looks like you're pushing that, and maybe that's a lever that pushes out the magazine.
I will say, deliberately smacking your optic is probably not a great idea. As a regular design, like designed-in feature of a weapon. But hey, that only matters if this is real, which it's not. So much variety in sort of ergonomics with these. Like the last gun had this sort of open girder-like pistol grip that looked super chunky and awkward to hold, and now this one has a slightly more refined wooden-clad grip on it.
This is one that I'm confident we can take some inspiration, some real-world inspiration.
Yes, agreed. I shall get one. Now, perhaps not what you're expecting.
That's a briefcase.
Well identified. So, some of you, when you saw the briefcase, will have realised where I'm going with that. But rather than grab one of our 25 well rods or whatever it is we've got, this is the B&T VP9, sort of rebranded as the Station 6 latterly for sale in the United States, but as you can see, this is marked VP9. And I've gone with this because the cocking knob on the Arc Raiders version is much more like this. Very chunky ribs on there for grasping. And because the original well rod doesn't have a wooden grip, it has a rubber sleeve over the magazine, which is the grip. But yeah, one we'll have to come back to at some point, I think, the VP9. Like the original well rod, the mag is the grip, but with a much more substantial polymer sleeve to give you a slightly better grip, well, significantly better grip actually. But it works the same way, and it is, as this weapon is, single shot bolt action. Well, magazine fed, but single shot. Sort of try and speed operate with the palm, but really meant for finger and thumb. And originally with the well rod, you were supposed to grasp the suppressor like this and fire it two-handed like that, or at least in one firing mode, as it were.
Yeah, I'm sure myself and a lot of other players use this for the first time and just thought, that's an Arc Raiders well rod.
I mean, it absolutely is. There's no question. It's hard to mistake it for anything else. Right, now, next up, I definitely have to go and get this one, don't I?
I didn't know if you had one of these. That's crazy. I'd never even heard of this one.
Please. Please. Of course we have one of them. Isn't it nice?
It's beautiful.
By weird coincidence, somebody on Instagram posted a load of original archive material they'd found on this only yesterday.
I mean, when I was preparing the footage and a weapon list to send over to you, I was doing research of strange grenade launchers and came across this thing. I didn't think you had one because the Wikipedia page said currently at least 4 of the launchers are on record of being in the Springfield Armories collection in Springfield, Massachusetts. No mention of there being one in the Royal Armouries Museum. Someone's gonna have to edit that.
Yeah, well, you know what to do. Now, obviously, I'm flexing that we have this, but
Rightly so, honestly. That's a rare treat.
it is. But what we don't have is what most people think of as the China Lake grenade launcher, which is the great big pump action one. That was sort of troop trial in Vietnam, and we don't have that. But this is also a China Lake grenade launcher from the same program. So I will, at some point, be covering this on our channel. So you're getting a rare preview here. It's kind of bizarre how it works. I'll go into detail when I do the video, but essentially, you start in this position here, and as you shoot, a spring, so it will ka-chunk to the center position, and then you pull the trigger again, fire the second shot, and it will ka-chunk to the final position, which is what you saw it in when I first picked it up.
That's interesting because the images online, I think we're agreeing that the Hullcracker is inspired by the T-148 E1 grenade launcher.
Gotta be.
Even the shape of the grip sort of mirrors the one that you've got. But all of the asset images online, all of the archive images online show the harmonica magazine to the right. So I think they've interpreted that, and when the weapon is full of ammunition, it's to the right, it goes left.
Trust me, it took me a while to figure this one out. And you can't actually replicate how it works without rounds in it because of how it works. It's only when a grenade goes down range that it's able to ka-chunk. I shall explain it on our channel soon. But yeah, definite inspiration there. And anyway, this is a different gun. Who's to say that this doesn't work some other way? It's such a rare configuration. We have harmonica pistols, and but it's a grenade launcher in the sort of 40mm range. The stock is shaped, as you say, very similar. Not the butt stock, but the sort of grip area and the receiver area. Even that bit at the top there, where you've got, I guess it's some sort of polymer, and then there's like a band of metal. Even that, I think, is based on this. It's probably the closest thing to a real gun that I've seen. Well, I guess the well rod thing is pretty close as well, but yeah, it's a hell of a thing.
You'll be interested to see how it works. It's quite cool.
Yeah, I'm sure what's going on the bottom there with the huge notch and the stock thing, the 4-stock. The world's largest trigger guard, and that is is it a 4-shot?
5.
5. Oh, so there's one. Yeah, there's one already lined up. Very good.
It looks like you're pulling a spring to tension and then letting it go and using that kinetic force to move the harmonica magazine.
Yep.
So in Arc Raiders, this thing is basically it's only anti-armor. There's no explosive effect. The point is it's like an armor-piercing grenade. The only thing I'm thinking of is like a Warhammer crack grenade. You're hitting a big robot to punch through the armor or crack the armor apart.
Ah.
So it's practically useless in PvP. It's just for taking down big robots.
So it's not a grenade launcher at all.
I suppose not in the traditional sense, no.
In the sense that it doesn't launch grenades, it is not a grenade launcher. We do have another difference there, which is it's opening up a breech at the back of the actual weapon rather than loading into the harmonica magazine. I guess it's a magazine. It's got a spring on it. Well, sort of.
I'm loading into raids here, role-playing as like a Ark Raiders war journalist, and I was just going up to people with the Hullcracker and just recording them with my binoculars. And like, you can see him like shiftily looking at me, being like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just there like, "Keep going. You're doing great." He does go down at one point. I revive him, and he's like, "Okay, fair enough. You're chill. You can stick around." But I was trying to get footage of it in use before I was using it myself.
Yeah.
And it definitely wasn't, because I only owned 2 of these, and I was terrified of losing them in a raid.
Yeah, very odd reload.
I hadn't actually noticed that they'd added that breach until you pointed it out as a way to add more not grenades. There you go. I get brave and take some of my Hullcrackers out in raids. I think it's one of my favourite designs in Ark Raiders, honestly. And not just because we got to see a cool real weapon out of it.
I can almost sense the frustration of them trying to figure out how the real thing works and going, screw it. We're just going to put a great big MG42 style cocking handle on the side, and it will punt out the, somehow, it punts out the empty case forwards, and then you pull the trigger to shoot the next one, and then you crank it, and it's moving the magazine, and also kicking out the case forwards, which with a case with a rim is an odd choice. It should be kicking them out backwards, really.
So you see when I'm shooting the big legs, I'm just breaking armor pieces off rather than creating big explosions.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, these fighting these giant things, it's not a stress-free experience.
I can imagine. Oh, wow. Okay. That's radically changed appearance.
Yeah, this is fully upgraded with some of my best attachments. So extended magazine, grip, suppressor.
Is it classed as a pistol?
Submachine gun.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Just as you said that, it started burst firing. It's a tiny magazine for such a chunky gun.
Default capacity is tiny as well. If you don't use an extended magazine with this thing, you're gonna get yourself into trouble.
Looks like it could be a Star Wars design. The base sort of machine pistol looking version anyway. It's one of those designs with a very factory designed looking sort of grip frame on it that makes me think, is it supposed to be a repurposed tool or something? Because if you're home making stuff, it's not going to be that professional.
Because as far as I could tell, there's never been a place for sights on this gun.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that upper part is not, you know, an internal optic or anything like that.
No. Well, like if these were, you know, craft produced, doing men type guns, then we find a lot of makers of those things traditionally didn't put sights on them. It's changed a bit now in things like 3D printing, where you may as well print it with a Picatinny rail, and therefore you can put whatever sights on it you like. But back in the days of tube guns and sheet metal, if you're just trying to create a close range automatic weapon for, I guess, self-defense, or in a criminal context, intimidation and assassination and stuff, you didn't bother with sights, you didn't bother with a stock. So in a way, this thing doesn't look too surprising to me as something that doesn't come out of a big factory. But then when you compare it to everything else in the game that does seem to have sights, that suddenly seems like an oversight. What's the glowing thing on the back, though?
Great question. So as you get up in the weapon rarity, more and more glowy bits start to appear. I think they just meant to imply that this is better technology than other weapons.
Yeah, as before, I'm a bit confused by the electrical stuff that seems to be stock. I mean, they look good, but the various insulated wires and glowy lights and things on what are bullet-firing guns, I find a little confusing. The front end of this gun is reminding me of another video game gun, and it's annoying the hell out of me that I can't think what it is. With that sort of the support thing around the barrel. Almost pictured it there.
Something for the comment section to try and decipher. Maybe something like in Metro?
No, it's a totally unrelated game, but it just has that front end. It's a bigger gun. I've looked at too many guns, real and imaginary.
So we looked at this gun before, but
Okay.
it was mostly me ranting about being extract camping, so I brought it in again so you could actually take a better look at it without me regaling you tales of rats waiting at elevators for me.
Well, pause there, because by weird coincidence, something I grabbed when I went to get something else, because I thought maybe it would let me talk about the sort of design language of the game, ends up looking a little bit similar. In particular, the trigger. The trigger on this essentially homemade thing. It's not super similar, but the fact that it's a sort of T-shaped profile, and it's a sort of 2-finger trigger, and the whole vibe of this thing is very, this is kind of entirely made in a shed, whereas the guns in this game are way more sophisticated than that, but they still have sort of a vibe. And the mixture of metal and wood there is some wood on some of the guns in this game. And then the very basic tubular stock with a sort of metal strap. But I think I might have shown you this once before, actually. It has a firing pin that protrudes and stops this from opening very easily. There we go. This is actually a single shot pivot. Pivot! Setup. And it's in 303.
Oof.
So, yeah, rather you than me shooting this in 303. And unlike some of the, or at least one of the guns in this game, does have, and atypically for this kind of, this is Northern Irish loyalist terrorist, I guess we'd call it. It does have a set of iron sights on it. Whereas a lot of the homemade submachine guns from that conflict have no sights at all. So, rather a serious bit of history for what is not a particularly serious video, but that trigger made me think. And of all the things I could have picked up that are sort of have a sort of a lashed together vibe to them, I happened to pick that up, and then we end up seeing a gun that has a similar trigger. Anyway, another perplexing buttstock design, actually might be one I've mentioned before, with that weird curving over the top thing. Double kind of trigger guards going fore and aft. Kind of bizarre. I get the one in the front because that great big plunger type trigger is going to be a bit easy to hit. A lot of surface area there. So the big knuckle bow thing on the front makes sense. But why is it continuing to the rear and joining up with the receiver? All that's going to do is make it harder to change your rather tiny looking drum magazine.
Well, they haven't done what you've mentioned as a pet peeve before, trigger guard inside your trigger guard.
Yes, that is. I'm prepared to accept in this case that they had this nice bit of steel and they thought, well, we may as well keep its strength and just attach it on the bottom as is rather than chopping it down. That you could sort of rationalise that a bit. But yeah, the trigger guard while you trigger guard is an annoyance. They all look right as weapons, don't they? They're like,
yeah.
you can nitpick them and break them down and go, oh, I don't really understand how that worked, but they look like they should work. And I think that's the trick with sci-fi stuff. I mean, if you were to have me break down the Terminator 2 endoskeleton plasma gun, like, which I think we have actually, come to think of it,
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense either, does it? Really? It's got kind of bits that sort of work, but
I enjoyed the medium ammo box that says text and more text, 2-3 short, medium ammo for mostly for destroying drones. I think this one we might need another pass.
yeah. Yeah, that's what the odd thing about the ammo boxes is. Are you viewing them in some way that you're not supposed to view them? Because they seem to be quite...
because all the everything in the game has a 3D object for if you're like dropping them in the world,
Right.
and they allow you to view those, inspect them in the menu. I just don't think they thought anyone would really zoom in on the medium ammo box. Like looking at the weapons, great, cool, yeah, everyone wants to see their weapons and add their attachments, but I don't think they thought, they're not gonna record footage of the medium ammo box spinning and then zoom it in 400%.
Well, they should have known better, shouldn't they? Yes, I think that's the trouble, is that the viewer works really well for the guns, which are a certain scale, but then your pickup items are all obviously much smaller, So if you're zooming them right in to get a good view of them, they're going, well, the polygons are not sufficient for that zoomed view. And then the textures are a little blurry as well. And you can sort of see the attempt at sort of corrugated cardboard that will look great on the ground, but doesn't look amazing in your face. So that explains the slightly jarring nature of the ammo boxes.
But I think they need to put the text and more text in.
Text and more text. Yeah, that's the clincher, really, that these were not meant to be viewed at that close up.
Another slightly disappointing element is you can switch shoulders, what shoulder you're firing the weapon from.
Yeah.
But everything flips. Like the entire model of the gun
Yes.
is just mirrored, and they flip the reload animation as well. It's nice that you can do that. It obviously allows you to shoot from round corners and peek when you're doing PvP or firing arcs. But it's always one of the things that stands out to me. Now I'm like, I wish the reload was different for that. But it would be so difficult to do.
Yeah, I remember. I think we picked up on that first time round with Arc Raiders, and we've certainly seen another game where they implemented shoulder transitions but flipped the whole thing. I don't think I'm thinking of this first time round. I think there was another game that did it. Yeah, I would hope they revisit that and model it in correctly at some point. I mean, it's an opportunity for a cool animation as well. If you've ever seen someone do a proper shoulder transition doing tactical style shooting or competition style shooting, it's quite hypnotic to watch them changing hands and shoulders as they move around cover and stuff. So you can use it to your advantage, although a lot of coding for something that just looks cool and the player probably isn't paying attention to. Okay, so in this case, the weird buttstock. There are so like infinite variety in buttstocks in this game, and this one, the additional thing on the back this time looks like it's meant to flip up and be like a butt strap for resting the gun in the shoulder. But when it's down, it sort of gives you an extra bit of padding, I guess. Sounds a bit like a Hoover, deadly dustbuster situation. Okay, so it's doing the power supply and the ammunition thing, seeming. Oh, or is it? No, it's... Okay, this is like a railgun thing, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the sort of bolt action motion is moving the power supply, because you've got like a sort of bank of batteries almost.
Ah. Oh, cool.
So it might be expelling an entire battery array and then moving that bank of ammunition up in the weapon to engage the next one, is how I was interpreting it.
Struggling a little bit to wrap my head around that one. Weirdly, it looks like it does seem like an actual bolt action where it's camming down at its forward end of travel. Having fired it, it seems like the handle springs up to the level position, and so the user is just pulling it straight back, but then forward and down. I don't know if that's a glitch or if that's intended. Or if my eyes are glitching, that's also possible. I do, in fact, need to go to Specsavers. But not for close-up. I like the kind of... Would it be collimating? Probably not. The kind of converging beams that sort of narrow down and then release. It's a nice effect.
Yeah, the energy weapons are really cool. And not every player will have the opportunity to use them because they are very difficult to get your hands on. You have to kill the giant matriarchs and queens to even get the pieces to craft them.
I like that approach. It's not common. That's more of a sort of old school XCOM thing of you have to put in the research time and gather the bits or whatever. And although in that case it's intended that you end up with a fully energy weapon equipped squad. This being kind of like an almost optional if you put in a ton of effort thing, and otherwise you're stuck with guns that fire bullets, is a very interesting design choice. And I can't think of another game that almost not paywall obviously, but like effort wall, effort walls your top tier weapons like that. I suppose they know that people will try really hard to do it over the play life of the game. Whoa, this thing looks like serious business.
The Equalizer.
Experimental beam rifle. Yeah, I should say I haven't been reading much in the way of the flavor text, so some of my I might have been able to shortcut some of my guesswork had I paid more attention to the text. I like the smart gun hold he's got on it, even if it is kind of it's not on a steady cam rig. Definitely feels like a. But it has the spinny Gatling-esque front portion.
Yeah, I think they're trying to evoke Gatling gun, aren't they?
They are. I like the beam effect very much, like the sort of crackly, zippy, fuzzy, pulsing kind of beam.
Well, my headcanon is that because this is called the Equalizer and it's made from parts of the Queen, which can shoot the giant laser beam.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I'm getting you back with your own laser beam now. What are you going to do about it? It's like they've taken that technology from the Queen and been like, we can make our own powerful laser weapon. You can see that there's, or implied that there's been some reverse engineering going on.
Yeah, which I do enjoy that. I love the idea of plucky humans reverse engineering alien technology. And of course, because the robots are not humanoid like the T-800s, they can't just use their weapon. Oh, mind you, I don't think have we ever seen Resistance using endo rifles? Anyway, different franchise. I guess in that world they'd already invented energy weapons, and so they just have them if they can get hold of them. Whereas here we are very much on the back foot technology-wise, even more so, I should say.
Of course, the Queen doesn't need to use its laser, or the Matriarch in this case doesn't need to use its laser. It can just stand on you.
Ah, yes.
It feels like such an event when everyone's working together to take down these massive arcs, though. It's really cool.
I feel like I'd be just the one standing at the back going, yeah, and don't come back.
It's funny because there are people that will load into a Queen or a Matriarch fight with the intention of helping, but they have no super powerful weapons. So they'll just come in with loads of medical equipment or defibrillators to help people that might have gone down or need assistance. Because you'll see when one of these things goes down, just a swarm of people just cover it to loot it from every angle. It's like just cockroaches that have been hiding in the shadows, and as soon as the big thing's gone down, like ants on a picnic, and there's you trying to get close enough. You've just expelled all of your expensive energy ammo to kill the thing, and you're getting nothing out of it. This is the second episode rant, by the way. Being one of the people that kills the big thing does most of the damage, and then some guy that's coming with a freeload out just scurries along and puts loads of Queen cores or Matriarch reactors into their secret pocket.
So there you are. You know how to trigger Dave now. That's two behaviours that you control him with. To be fair, I think that would piss most people off.
It does. Yeah, no. People will be just looking around the carcass for Matriarch being like, is it gone already? What the hell?
I think it's more that you're quite chill most of the time, so it's just like a couple of things that will get you irate.
Yeah. Rather
than some of the permanently furious people you encounter in online gaming.
So, costume change, because we recorded most of the Ark Raiders episode a few weeks ago, and they released a couple new guns. And here they are. I got them.
Lots of hard work, no doubt.
Lots of swearing when I fail to extract with the bits that I need.
That looks... What does that look like? Looks a little bit Tech 9-y. A bit, maybe. Oh, God. I don't remember an angled foregrip on the other guns. Oh, I tell you what, that drum mag not being circular is a little jarring.
So this one fires medium ammo rather than light ammo, the only SMG to do that. They've obviously taken some inspiration from a favourite of yours with the reload.
Yeah, there's a slap there.
Well, because it's not a fully upgraded gun, that jamming mechanics come back in. So the slap needs to hammer it in a bit, which will surely result in a hurty hand, as you like to call it.
It certainly would, yeah. Although we have got gloves on, which might help. Yeah, I think I guess the medium ammo is reflected in the width of the magazine on the gun, and the cases coming out appear to be about the right length for that width or depth, however you want to look at it.
The recoil and shot dispersion is a bit more intense than the other submachine guns as well.
Ooh, the feed angle isn't maybe optimal. We have a very straight magwell and then quite a rakish angle for the drum portion. Drum mags are not the most reliable thing in the world at the best of times. So with the usual caveat of, I know it's not real, it might be a little problematic.
Yeah, I didn't have enough scrap to get it all the way to level 4, so we're stuck with the slightly rusty version.
Just have to keep beating it. I've done it again, haven't I? That was another unintentional.
I didn't pick up on that one, but that's good. We've had your cranking it, my spread it.
Yeah, I saw the comments on the cranking it thing. Is that just a hand protector sticking out the front like a sort of miniature girder? I'm asking you like you've designed it.
It doesn't really do anything in game that I could detect.
No, maybe it's just, well, yeah, don't know. I would have to assume it's to prevent you putting your, because this is sort of a bit, it's making me think MP5K now that you pointed out the slap, and the form factor is kind of there. So I would say that might be influenced by the hand stop on the MP5K. I think if you put a Tech 9 and an MP5K in a trash compactor, this might be what came out. I don't think I saw you get chased by one of those last time, did I?
They're a new enemy, and I hate them.
Yeah, they're awful. They remind me of the Terminator Resistance silverfish, only worse. They've got more of a panic aspect to them, I think. Yeah, this is wacky even by this game standards, I think, with that incredibly long sloped pistol grip. It's almost not a pistol grip.
And a Dolabra is a type of Italian axe.
Okay.
But this thing is an energy shotgun. But the longer you charge it, the tighter the spread is. So it becomes almost like a short to medium range blast, like single shot, rather than a spread. And this one was really hard to get. So our creators players, you better appreciate this.
Yeah.
I also do not own it anymore. It's another one that's gone.
The petals are unusual, aren't they? Like, we can't really speculate on why they are the way they are. I think that's because it looks cool thing. But they've got a ring, like an annular mount for the flaps that retreats down the body of the gun as you fire it, and the flaps converge. So it's implying some kind of energy regulation or acceleration of something, I guess. It is energy though, rather than electromagnetic, isn't it?
Just uses energy clips. That's all the information the game gives you. It's an energy weapon. These new enemies are hellish as well. Absolutely screw these ones. Horrible giant laser flamethrower things.
Oh yeah.
So the game is just getting harder over time.
Looks really hard to aim.
Yeah, trying to range it was tricky because there's no projectile, the effect just sort of disappears, and the longer you charge it up to a point, the further and tighter the shot is. I did find it quite hard to get a sense of if a target was close enough to hit.
I guess that's what the ring is supposed to do?
Yeah, but in this shot, the Rocketeer gets just a bit too far, and then all of a sudden I didn't get the sense I was hitting it anymore. But it's also implied to be more of a close range weapon, so I guess you should be using it up close when you can.
So we've spoken many times about the video game shotgun trope of after a certain distance it just does nothing, and how we've moved away from that. Well, this is where it's still valid, isn't it? Because if it's energy based,
yeah,
somehow, maybe it's not true, but it feels like it would fall off over distance in a way that a firing shotgun actually doesn't really. I do enjoy the particle effects on this, the way that it's like a beam, but it kind of falls away into sparks or some sort of exotic particle. I'm not sure.
What there isn't footage of is a combination of me sneaking up to loot caches where you get the relevant parts to make this thing, using smoke grenades while other players are fighting the bad guys to get pieces, and a little bit of begging. Philip, please, please give me the pieces. Eventually someone just went, do you need the blueprint for this weapon? Yeah, there you go. So shout out to that raider if you're out there, because otherwise I was having bad luck getting the blueprint for this damn thing.
You should definitely tell them who you are in that situation.
Thank you all for watching. Let us know what other games, movies, TV shows, or beyond you would like to see on the channel. And of course, like and subscribe. Massive shout out to all of our wonderful supporters over on the EXP Patreon, without whom we simply couldn't make cool content like this. Links to support Jonathan and the Royal Armouries will also be in the description down below, so make sure you check those out and show those wonderful folks some love as well. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more like this, and I will see you very soon.